Hey everybody, Matt Bossum here. Thanks for joining me on another step along my path from mailman to millionaire. Thanks for being a cast member in my reality show. So I wanted to make a video talking to you about some pretty controversial subjects, but like it is doing for me, if you follow what I say here and take it to heart and use it, it could be worth a couple $1,000,000 to you. I'm serious. So again, for those of you who don't know me or haven't watched any of my videos, I'm a proud member of the Empower Network, and I follow the teachings of Team Take Massive Action, Chris Record, Peter Sorensen, George Bailey, and Arthur Tubman. And I am an unleashed entrepreneur, and I'm an uncaged grizzly. So I've been unplugged from the matrix, and I'm aware of what's going on around me. Okay, so for those of you who aren't members of the Empower Network, there's going to be a description in this video. Click on it. I'm sorry, a link in the description of this video. Click on it, learn about it, find out about it. It is the catalyst of the transformation of my internet marketing and direct selling and affiliate marketing career. So anyway, so the two things I'm going to be talking about are okay, so if you had to sit down and you had to ask Frank Kern or let's see, David Wood or David Sharp, the creators of the Empower Network, or other Toby and Layla Black, Charles Chuck Marshall, Lawrence Tam, if you had to ask them, what sets them apart from other marketers, why are they incredibly successful, they would probably narrow it down to. Now, this is my opinion. This is Matt Bossum's opinion. But I'm sure that all these people would sign off on this if they heard it. But what they would narrow it down to is two things: self-reliance and personal responsibility. Self-reliance and personal responsibility. I'm going to touch on the first one. It's two parts. First one is personal responsibility. So, okay, so what I'm going to be saying here over the next few minutes is going to piss you off. So for about 30 seconds, bear with me, okay? Because it's going to be a little abrasive and it's going to piss you off, but I can guarantee you that I'm not saying what you think I'm saying, okay? So reserve judgment. Just listen. Be pissed, but don't go away, okay? So what I'm going to say about personal responsibility is, if you're harassed at work, sexually, physically, guess what? You need to take responsibility for that. If you're overweight because you eat fast food, you got to take personal responsibility for that. If you are being abused in your relationship, in your marriage, you got to take responsibility for that. You have to take responsibility for that. If someone crashes into you in your car and it's not your fault, you have to take personal responsibility for that. Now, sounds like I'm being a jerk, right? Like I'm being insensitive, like I don't care. But, in reality, everybody plays the blame game. Whose fault is it? Who's to blame? That's what we think the word responsibility means, right? Whose fault? Who is responsible? Whose fault is this? Okay? And, on the news, if something bad happens, if the economy goes bad, guess what? You need to take personal responsibility for it. But let's take a step back and let's think about what the word responsibility means. Literally, it means you reserve the ability to respond. The ability to respond. That's all it means. Hold on just a second, folks. I got to close a window. Great timing, by the way. So, again, the ability to respond. What does that mean? Well, that just means that as a living, breathing, intelligent, rational human being, you have the ability to respond to these things. You reserve the ability to respond to being overweight, being crashed into, abused, taken advantage of, being fired for no reason from a job. You can respond as long as you reserve the ability to. You have responsibility. Okay? Think about that. Really think about it. It makes you incredibly less of a victim than you think you are. You have power. You have ability. You can make a difference in your own life. That's one of the things that incredibly successful internet marketers do, is they accept personal and reserve personal responsibility for every single thing in their lives, no matter where it's coming from or how it's happening to them. It gives them power. It reaffirms their power. Okay? Take ownership. Reserve for yourself that ability. It's no one's fault. It's no one's fault. It's definitely not your fault. It's something, it's an external thing. It's something that's happening. So you reserve the responsibility to respond. You reserve the opportunity to respond. So that's the first part. The second part is self-reliance. Okay, so how many of you, now I'm imagining you as an audience, as an auditorium full of people, okay? How many of you can honestly raise your hand and say you've been one of those wuss bags who has blamed their situation on someone else, and you did not accept personal responsibility? You didn't reserve personal responsibility. You blamed your situation on someone else, or you said, well, they're special. Like, for instance, as a network marketer, an MLMer, direct seller, whatever. How many times have you looked at someone who has incredible success and said, well, they must be special? They have a secret. Something has happened to where they have an advantage over me, and I can't reach them. And then what do? Well, most of the time people quit. But what about your next door neighbor? What if they have better things than you do, and you can't attain their level? Okay? This speaks to self-reliance. You have to get in touch with the concept of accomplishing what you can with the resources that you have. Those people live in the same economy that you do. They pay the same gas prices you do. They deal with the same external pressures, the same issues, the same weather, the same president, the same Congress, the same economy, the same traffic. Everybody has the same environment. Well, if you're self-reliant and you reserve for yourself personal responsibility, then you can take what you have and accomplish what you can. Let me tell you a story. One of my mentors, Tony Rush, here in the Empower Network, amazing. 6 figures a month he makes in Empower Network. He said that when he woke up and rediscovered his self-reliance and accepted personal responsibility, he went home one day after being fed up and looked at his wife and said, pack up all of our shit, we're moving. They had $0. They had no money. They couldn't move. How can you move with no money? They had no success. They had no money. But he was becoming self-reliant, and he was using the resources that he had to accomplish the things he could. So what did they do? They went and they packed up all of their non-essentials in boxes. Went to the store and bought boxes and packed up all their stuff and stacked it in their house. They packed to move. Could they move? No. They had no money. They had no resources. They couldn't accomplish that. But he was self-reliant. And he put himself mentally in a state where he says, I accept and reserve responsibility for my situation, and I'm going to act. I'm going to take massive action, and I'm going to act. Okay? Which is one of the things that we teach in Team Take Massive Action. Hello? Okay? And what happened? He started making money. There's a book by Napoleon Hill that says, one of the things that he says in there is, at some point when you make that shift, money will start flowing to you in such a way that you'll wonder where it's been hiding. I'm paraphrasing. But the point is that's what happened to Tony Rush. He put himself in that state. He packed up all their stuff. They lived in the kitchen, and they lived close to where the computer was because they were internet marketers. And that's how they live, because they put themselves in that state. Okay? It's not a guarantee that it'll happen for you. But again, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you take the things that I'm saying and you apply them in the proper way with the proper mindset, it can be worth at least a couple $1 million to you over the next 12 to 24 months. Okay? It's making a change in me. All right? I am accepting personal responsibility, and I have become self-reliant. I'm in my home office. It's nothing special. I'm a part-time marketer because I have a full-time job. I'm doing what it takes. I'm doing whatever it takes. Okay? So that's what I want to convey to you. Again, if you are not a member of the Empower Network, and if you're not part of our family of Team Take Massive Action, you need to be. For a minimum of $25, it's a no-brainer. If you have any interest in taking your MLM or network marketing business to the next level, if you have any interest of becoming finally a successful internet marketer, click in the link in the description of this video. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, there's many ways to get a hold of me and send messages. Go to my blog, mailman2, the number 2, millionaire.com. Mailman, the number 2, millionaire.com. Okay? Again, Matt Bossum, thanks for taking another step with me. Together, let's accomplish what you deserve, and let's reach that success. Thanks. Have a great day.